This is our last episode of the podcast before the end of the year. And what better way to send out 2024 than having an award show? Hey everybody, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't talk indie games alone because that's super boring and makes you seem sad and you have no friends. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Topher. What's poppin', homie? Don't awe me. You're making me feel sad.
you know what's not sad? Well, I guess those people aren't sad. But Blacksmith Wukong not winning the game award.
Yikes,
like
man.
the reaction to that, like what the hell is going on?
Dog.
It didn't win an award, so what?
It won two. It won 2 awards. It just didn't win Game of the Year. I take it with a grain of salt, right? For context, anybody. So Game Awards this past week, Blacksmith Wukong was nominated, but Astrobot won. I was pulling for Balatro. I think we were pulling for Balatro, but I'll take Astrobot. I'm not mad at Astrobot. Astrobot's great. So then, I guess Alana Pierce saw like the devs and they immediately started crying, which I get it. You flew all the way from China to the US to this award show that probably is really annoying to do and then not win Game of the Year. So that probably sucked. But then like, I guess the CEO, owner, whatever, title made like a whole tweet on the Chinese social media, Weibo, as someone might know. Yeah. It was basically just like, I guess I don't understand the selection for Game of the Year. Like, translated to a machine. So it could totally be off base, could not be the energy he was giving, but it came across as, how did Astrobot get nominated and win when like we were there? I'm like, ooh, that's a shitty take. I don't like that. Yeah, that's kind of gross. Yeah. But again, machine translated could be totally off base. He's just like, I guess I don't understand what happened, but hey.
I don't think so, because apparently Chinese fans then went on to review bomb Baldur's Gate 3 for some reason.
They did do that because the director of Baldur's Gate is the one who gave the award. So Chinese fans are like, oh yeah, I'll take this Baldur's Gate. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, too little too late. Baldur's Gate's incredible. I get the review bomb, I guess, but like, too late? Nah, whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
I just thought it was a bit funny.
Yeah, gamers are wild. Gamers are wild, dude. Let me see. Danny has no right being this damn smexy. What can I say? We all out here being smexy, baby. But yeah, guys, again, we're doing this one live on Twitch, so don't worry, we'll be reading chat. Just we may not be reading it out loud. So feel free to keep engaging with the conversation, giving us your thoughts as we go. Today is our Playlog Podcast Awards, which we'll get to very shortly, but I have to do some housekeeping first, so stick with me here. First off, coming up on December 19th, which will be Thursday, 2 days from now. Shut up, we're live? Shut up, Medic. Thursday, so 2 days from now from this stream, if you're watching this on YouTube this evening, so Thursday the 19th, we'll be, sorry, I keep saying we, Topher said I'm going to bed. I'll be reacting to the Indie Game Awards live right here on Twitch. We'll be live reacting to the Indie Game Awards that is put on together from the 6-1 Indie team in collaboration with Vicarious PR. They've come together to start the Indie Game Awards, which is the place for all indie games that normally get no time at the Keeley Awards to get a space to shine. So come on and watch the reaction and see which of our favorite indie games win on December 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/CGDannyB. Another quick thing I should mention, just in case there's an FTC thing with it, we are judges for the Indie Game Awards, so we voted. That's why we haven't done like a formal, like, I wonder what would win this, because we voted. We actually voted, so we'll see, if that counts for anything. And I'll try to remember which ones we picked as we go. I'm like, that was ours, we won. Another quick reminder, as part of our podcast, we'll be doing our monthly book club where we go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. And with the holidays taking up the end of December, this book club will take 2 months as a play session. For the month of January, we'll be reviewing Hollow Knight. Forge your own path in Hollow Knight, an epic action adventure through a vast ruined kingdom of insects and heroes. Explore twisted caverns, battle tainted creatures, and befriend bizarre bugs, all in a classic hand-drawn 2D style. So, if you want to get involved in the episode, play the game these next few months, and we're at the end of December now, so basically you got a month. Topher, you started yet?
I have.
Oh, bet. I still haven't. I have to do that. Medic, thank you so much for the sub. Give me 1 second while I finish housekeeping. Oh, you got a message. Hold on 1 second.
35 months already? I'm so glad I met you guys and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I can't stay long cause I'm at work, but I hope stream is going well.
Thank you, Rennick. Thank you so much for the 35 months. I appreciate you. Thank you. 35 months is fucking insane. Enjoy work. If we can keep you on the background and keep you entertained, would love to. But do what you gotta do. Get that money, queen. Let me see. What was I saying? So in the next few months or this month, play some Hollow Knight on your preferred platform, and then head over to our write-in form in the description of the video and give us your thoughts on Hollow Knight for our January 28th episode of Playlog Podcast, where you can join us live on twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or you can watch it a few days later on youtube.com/CGDannyB. Yes, I've started Hollow Knight. It's installed. I just videos, you know.
Yeah,
we love it.
It's a busy time.
Always, right? Chat, someone play Hollow Knight for me and give me my thoughts. Pretty cool. Let's see here as we keep trucking along. Now, this is the part of the show we break the ice. Remember, you can write into the show and give us your questions about gaming, content creation, life, etc., and we'll read it right here on the show, just like our friend of the show, Daphne, did. And again, she wrote it in. Now, technically, she wrote Daphne again, like in quotes. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Daphne again. So, but Daphne writes in and asks, if you were to suggest any really cheap games from 0 to 10 euros, which $10, well, yeah, for us Americans, you know, that you feel are a must play, which would you pick? Topher, I'll let you go first. What are your like must play, inexpensive? I feel like cheap seems like derogatory sometimes. So inexpensive.
Yeah, maybe so, but I picked two very, very different ones.
I do see that.
First up, I went for Papers, Please.
Okay.
Because that's one of those games that just makes you realize that what indies can do.
Right.
That AAA could never. And it's less than $10, and it features a story mode. It features an endless mode. Mm-hmm. The deal is you sit at this toll booth and you have to decide which people to let cross the border.
Yeah.
And it gets stressful as fuck.
It broke me.
It sounds like it's not going to be a good time at all. Mm-hmm. And yet it is.
I had to get medicine for my kid. I went $5 in debt, so I went to jail. And there's just a clip of me going, $5? I went to jail over $5? Like I'm freaking out. But
nice.
Oh man.
Yeah. And my second pick, it's $5. It's Vampire Survivors.
There we go.
It's gonna make you feel happy. You become the bullet hell.
Yeah, you become the bullet hell. I love it. Yeah, Vampires is a good one. Like having played it recently, and I love the genre now. Like I need to get to Temtem Swarm, but that's definitely not $5, less than $10. But I'd put
Isn't it?
I don't think so. I think Temtem's 15, unless it's more, or unless it's not. Yeah, go for it. Meanwhile, I put a couple different ones on here. Also, two very polar opposite vibes. First, I put Buckshot Roulette, which came out last year. No, 2022? 2023. It originally was just on itch.io, but now it's on Steam. It's like $3, but it's a really short roguelike, depending how well you do, where you're just playing, I guess, Russian roulette, shotgun roulette, against like a dealer. And the whole thing is based on which cards are played, or not cards, but which like items you play. You take a random shot at the opponent, and if it's a shell, boom, they take damage. If not, then they get a shot at you, and vice versa. But sometimes you can turn it so you get multiple turns. You can handcuff them so they don't get a turn. You do extra damage. You can do 2 damage instead of the 1. It's really fun in like 3 rounds to complete it. So, and I think they recently added multiplayer. I forget if that's mods or not, or if it's in the full game, but I think that seems like a fun multiplayer game. And then, of course, I included A Short Hike, which is a phenomenal game that I played maybe 2 or 3 years ago now at this point. I did like a full Let's Play on YouTube over the course of a weekend. You just play as a little birdie. I was going to say penguin, but penguins don't fly, so I don't think you're a penguin. But your whole goal is to climb to the top of this mountain. Very Celeste coded, but it's more in this Animal Crossing 3D style where you go around town, help people. When you help them, you get feathers, which lets you fly higher and increase your stamina. So the more stamina you get, the higher you can climb the mountain, and then you get this really cool scenic view. And it's a really nice game. It's really short. could probably knock it out in an hour if you're good, but you really wouldn't want to. You want to explore like the whole world that's there. I think that one's like $7, something like that. So
yeah,
good time.
Temtem Swarm is $10, by the way.
Bad. There you go, guys. Temtem Swarm. If you like Pokemon, but not really Pokemon, but like Vampire Survivors, but Pokemon, Temtem Swarm. A really cool one.
Yeah.
I gotta pick that up now. Damn. That's what I use my gift card on. Temtem Swarm. Good deal. Buckshot Roulette is cool, gritty and dark, but cool nonetheless. Absolutely, 100%. Daphne, thank you so much for writing in with your question. Chat, if you have any dope, inexpensive indie games on a PC, console, etc., be sure to let us know, whether here in the Twitch chat or in the comments. And with that, boom, we'll jump into the really, really quick indie news, because we wanted to give a shout out to TGAGWCAGA, I think is how they've been pronouncing it. This past weekend, there was the TGAGWCAGAs, which are the Game Awards for games who can't afford the Game Awards. I only got to watch the intro, but Topher, real quick, you got to watch the whole show. Tell us a little more about the CAGWCAGAs, or TGAGWCAGAs.
Yeah, this is a show that was put together in like 2 weeks and a half.
Sounds familiar.
Which is insane to me, because they featured, I think, somewhere between 70 and 100 different indie games.
Jesus.
Both games that released earlier this year and games that are still to release in the future. They handed out these really, really specific awards, which was a good time. But it was amazing. I've seen Blue Sky posts of developers who were featured who have seen spikes in their wish lists.
Oh, yeah.
Because of this, and it's amazing to see. I think during the whole thing there were about 1,000 viewers.
Wow, shit. Okay.
Which I think is like a lot for a show that was not that hyped before it happened. But yeah, the only thing that I could like critique it a little bit is that at times it got hard to keep up.
Okay.
Because they kept on showing game after game after game, and I was I can't type this fast. I want to wish list all of these.
Slow down a second. Give me a minute. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing was a blast. Like, they featured these really low quality graphics. They used Comic Sans as a font. The actual award was a PNG of the Game Awards award.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they actually featured some exclusives, and like,
very nice.
It was such a good time, and it was so much fun to see people celebrate indies like this.
Yeah.
Even though some people just wouldn't shut up in the chat about Silksong. Because they wanted Silksong to be there. It's like, just shut up and enjoy. You're seeing games here that are amazing. There's this game, right?
Yeah.
Blocks for Babies. Have you heard of this?
Nope, but I gotta see what this is. Hold on. Blocks
for Babies is basically Tetris, but with a push of a button, you switch view to first-person view, and all of a sudden you're playing Doom.
What? Hold on.
You're shooting the blocks.
Let me pull this up, because I pulled it up first and I got actual like toys, like Blocks for Babies. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting what I need. Yo, wait. This is cool. Is it a roguelike? Is it a action roguelike? Yo, dog. Hold up here, team. Hold up here, team. We're seeing only indies, am I right? Only indies, baby.
Only indies.
That's amazing. That's so cool. That's exciting. I want to play that one. Oh, damn.
That was one of the highlights. But there were so many highlights. Like, I don't think there was a single game featured that I was like, I don't really want to play this.
Yeah.
I wanted to play all of them, and there were over 70 of them.
That's so freaking sick. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll real quick, they do have a Steam page up where you can see all the games that were showcased, wish list them, pick them up if they're already out. I'm gonna have to go through here. Am I lying to it? Yeah, I currently have 919 games on my wish list.
Ooh, you're gonna pass 1,000.
Well, that is also prior to me going back and doing either the Wholesome Games or Day of the Devs. So I have to do both of those, as well as TGAGWCAGA over here. So I'm banking I cracked 1,200 after this. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I gotta guess, but I'm wondering, like, I don't know if there's an etiquette to keeping things on your wish list. I know it helps the algorithm, more people see it. I'm wondering if a game's out, is it rude to unwish list something? Game I've bought, a game I've played. Because I'm sure there's probably a couple hundred in there that, like, I've already wish listed and played and everything else. But I'm like, I think it helps the algorithm. So should I never decrease my wish list? Should I, like, I don't know. I want to talk to a dev and see what the, like, if you're like, well, I mean, you can, like, we're not going to stop you, but, like, it's beneficial to us if you leave it, you know?
Would be a good question to if we get a dev onto the podcast.
Right. Hell yeah. Devs, if you want to come on the show and talk solely about whether we should remove a wish list, that's all we want. We don't want you to talk about your game, anything else. Just tell us if we should not remove our wish list, or just leave a comment, one or the other, but we'll figure it out. Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah, I definitely got to get to that one. It's showcase season. I mean, I think there was a Latin Games showcase I haven't seen yet, the women-led showcase I haven't seen yet. So I'm sure watching there's a lot of games, Topher. A lot of games.
It really is.
A lot of games, little times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys want to check that out, the showcase, I think you said it was what, 2 hours-ish?
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes, something like that.
Good deal. Yeah, check that out. I think it's available on their YouTube channel. If you want to find it, it's try that again. I'm saying the G and the A together, Topher, and I'm really fucking it up. TGAGWCAGA. The Game Awards for games who can't afford the Game Awards. There we go. Boom. TGAGWCAGA. I'm saying J's the rest of the day. That's the vibe. Oh, man. But yes, that is our quick indie news timestamp. And now, Topher, we're on to the fucking festivities. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really went in there with I was a fucking dog. I really went there. I'm sorry, team. I don't know what came out of me. I just really like indie games.
It's like you're just passionate about these games.
I am. I really am. Chat, we did not prepare any of the fun award show banter. We'll try to do that next year. So we're off the cuff on this. So stick with me here. But, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends and nomies of all kind, welcome to the inaugural year of the Playlog Podcast Awards. Something we hobbled together over the course of a couple weeks and said, it'd be really cool if we did this. Topher brought it to me. I said, I've always wanted to do like a Nomi's Award show, but it was just always too busy at the end of the year. And we're doing with the podcast. I'm like, this honestly sounds pretty great. So we should make it happen. So we quickly threw together 10 categories, 11 perhaps, to kind of pick a few nominees. This year we picked 3 nominees. We decided between the two of us which game was the most deserving. Sounds maybe a little aggressive, but what we thought would best fit the category, and chose that as our winner. So what we'll do is we'll have a fun little bit where we introduce each category. We'll talk about what's going on. We'll show you a fun little sizzle reel of the nominees. Then we'll discuss why it won, and you'll see all the indie game winners today. If you are curious, we did announce all of the AAA winners during the pre-show. That was all during the commercial, so congratulations to those guys for their wins, I guess. Take that, Jeff. But yeah, I guess that covers everything. Without further ado, do we jump to the first one, or do you want to Fandangle first, or just go right into it?
I think we should get right into it. The first category is games we didn't play.
Absolutely. There's so many games every single year, Topher, and it's hard to want to play all of them, to get our time in there and be like, let me get my hands on everything. And today we've picked 6 games collectively, 3 across Topher's, 3 across mine, of games that we haven't played yet and hopefully will here in the future. But for now, let's take a quick peek at our nominees.
And the nominees for best game.
It's not switching, Topher. It's not switching. I look stupid.
No, that was so smooth.
It was, right? All right, switch. There we go.
And the nominees for best game that Topher didn't play this year are Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, The Rise of the Golden Idol, Sorry We're Closed.
And the nominees for best game Danny didn't play this year are Angerfoot, Cryptmaster, Nine Souls, right. That went pretty well. That first one, we kind of got that together. Now this is the part I didn't grab an envelope. This is the part where we go like, and the winner is.
Oh shit! An envelope. Completely forgot about the envelope.
I have a letter that's open already. I think my dad opened it. Oh, cool! This company wants to buy my lease off. Shut up. This will work. I have to show you this side. And the winner is. Oh my god. Nobody, because this is just a full list of dope-ass games that we need to play. We kind of talked earlier, we're like, we could pick, like, a winner, but we're literally talking about games we haven't touched across all 6 of these. Neither of us have played. Maybe a few demos and such here and there, but, like, in terms of the full game, we haven't. But I guess if you just want to quickly just blitz through, like, the 3 games we have here and, like, man, why do I want to play this one so much? So if you want to start, I mean, you got some crazy ones over there.
Yeah, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes has been nominated for Game of the Year in certain award shows, and it's by the same people who made Sayonara Wild Hearts, and that's enough for me. But
yeah,
that sells it to me. But then it's this incredibly stylish looking puzzle game that has some horror vibes, and I'm just intrigued. Do you want to go for one of yours first?
Yeah, we'll bounce back and forth. The first one I had included was Angerfoot. First off, it's a Devolver jaunt. I love my Devolver games. I like, very rarely do I find a Devolver miss, whether just something even Devolver games I don't like, I still love. And Angerfoot is one of those games I remember playing off. It wasn't even Itch. It was just maybe it was Game Jolt where they had the Angerfoot demo. And I remember checking it out back then. And then seeing it get picked up by Devolver was such an exciting thing. I was like, oh my God, it's like watching one of my babies grow up. That's so cool. So I was so gung-ho on playing Angerfoot when it dropped, and whatever the combination of keys I had or what I was playing at the time that I didn't get to it just kind of got away from me. So Angerfoot is still like in my view of games that I want to check out. But yeah, it just this insane over-the-top first-person shooter about some bad guys who steal your sneaker collection, and as you get them back, each one has different powers. Some you get like the bicycle kick from Mortal Kombat. I think some create zero gravity. So there's just a bunch of goofy fun mechanics that included in this first person shooter, like Doom-esque clone here. So yeah, it's just like a dope one.
Yeah.
But your next one.
My second pick is The Rise of the Golden Idol. The reason I didn't get into this one yet is because I wanted to play the first game, The Case of the Golden Idol, before getting into the sequel, and I still haven't. But I really want to, because it's a game in a similar vein to Return of the Obra Dinn.
Okay.
Where you have these set pieces and you have to figure out what happened, who killed who, or who did what to whom. And yeah, it's just a really good time. It's getting great reviews all across the board, so I can't wait to like finally play both of them.
Yeah, listen, we got a book club next year after Hollow Knight. We got some openings. The next one I had chosen was Crypt Master, which is this really dope. It's a black and white first person dungeon crawler. Where it's a text-based adventure. So as you're roaming around these dungeons, you are typing in words based on the environments in front of you, and those words will initiate actions, right? So if you have the collections of letters to spell jab, you'll do that. That'll activate an attack. But sometimes your cast will have different spells. So as you level them up, you'll get new words. So you can do fire, so they'll shoot fire bolts, or any kind of combination of cool, like very D&D inspired actions, right? And the entire time you have the Crypt Master, which is this very just scary looking black figurine in a hood who's just like, well, welcome to my dungeon. And like the whole vibe is there. I think this game looks sick. I love the demo that I got to play. I think there's so much versatility in what you could do just by typing in words. And I've, again, only played the demo, so I've barely scratched the surface of what's probably available. So definitely one that's on my radar to get back into and try.
Nice. All right. My final pick is Sorry We're Closed.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you take the original Resident Evil, with its fixed cameras and tank movement, but just make it really queer.
Yeah, that's it.
That's Sorry We're Closed. It's a game about being heartbroken and the horrors that come with it.
A bunch of grown-ass men just clicked off this video like, did you say queer? I'm out of here.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's okay. More for us.
The person with the rainbow flag just said queer.
Yeah, not to like double dip or anything. Yes, Cyberclaw is another one that I like played the demo, super in love with, and sad that I haven't gotten the chance to check out yet. Because that seems like one where like if I would play it, I'm like, damn it, if I play this early enough here, like it definitely would have made my top 10 type deal. But we'll see when I play it. Happens every year. You always miss one. And then my final one was Nine Souls, which I already saw Urban Squatch in the chat. I was like, Nine Souls is just mwah, chef's kiss. I again played the demo for it. Really enjoyed the demo like 3 or 4 years ago. And I've picked up the game. I own it on Steam, and I think I've started it 2 or 3 times. And it is just the fact of like every time I start it, there's the new thing that comes out, and I think that scratches the itch more for me than Nine Souls has. Which sucks because I've seen Nine Souls, I hear the love for Nine Souls, and I want to also love Nine Souls. I've waited years to play it, and now it keeps getting backburnered for me this year, which is so unfortunate. And now it's on console, so maybe I just pick it up on PlayStation and play it there, so it's more like accessible to me. But Nine Souls looks sick, and I can't wait to dig more into it.
It does look sick.
The world we live in, team. So many good games, and those aren't even in the awards yet. That was just the start.
No.
So timestamp here. Now we jump into our first official award. We will be nominating a winner. Not nominating, we'll decide a winner. To start off, ladies and gentlemen, there are new games every single year to play. New games get announced. New games come out. But something new that the industry is still trying to figure out what to do with are early access titles. Now, early access are games being released before they're officially done, not with a final 1.0 version, but enough for the community to test and play and see what are these games truly about. And this year, more than any, I think we've gotten so many early access releases that are just beyond the quality of what early access has the stigma for. From our favorite roguelike adventures to a charming little game about cleaning some stuff up in your house. These are the nominees for Best Early Access Game. And the nominees for Best Early Access Game are Hades 2, Beastie Ball, Trash Goblin, and now the winner of Best Early Access Game, there's nothing in here, is Beastie Ball. So yeah, like I said, we'll quickly talk about what won and why it won. We started the year, I think you haven't touched Hades 2, right? Or you've touched a little bit, just haven't played a lot? Okay.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. I remember Hades dropping in May and just like clowning the entire month that we had of dope indie games that got shattered by Hades 2 coming out. And Hades 2 is great. Hades 2 is phenomenal. You've played Trash Goblins, and I love the demo. I'm going to say that a lot. I love the demo for that one. I haven't gotten into the full early access build yet. But we got our keys for Beastie Ball. And I remember just being absolutely infatuated with this creature collector that takes the combination of catching Pokemon with making them play volleyball in this strategy type gameplay. So it's still turn-based, but it is maneuvering your team to the right spot. So they're, deflecting damage, but then they take the least damage because they use a certain perk. And it's really fun. I'm still on like the 4th or 5th gym. I need to keep powering through, but Beastie Ball was such a shock for an early access release this year and how high quality it feels. I'm in love with Beastie Ball.
Oh, same here. And one of the reasons for me that I chose this ahead of Hades, despite knowing how good Hades 2 is that Hades 2 has a base to work off of.
Right.
It has a really, really, really good game that is used as the base for the sequel. Beastie Ball is a completely new thing.
Right.
Developer previously made Chicory, I believe.
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
That's correct.
So this is something completely new for them. And to have it be this good already, yeah.
Yeah. What a good time. What a good time. And they also made Wander Song for him. I was like, oh, I love that game. I really want to try Beastie Ball. I'd recommend it. It's so much fun. It's so early access, but I think there's I haven't beaten it. I assume there's a finality to it, but I think it's like $25. But yeah, if you like Pokemon, if you like creature catchers, Beastie Ball is a great pick because it does enough where it's familiar, but still like super fresh and new. Congratulations, Beastie Ball. I don't have a trophy for you, but I do have an empty bag of Cheez-Its. So if you would like to accept that in honor of the Early Access Award, congratulations.
I have a tumbler full of water.
Oh, same. We can say hydrated. Cheers. There you go. Hell yeah. Timestamp. I didn't prep. Do you want to do the improv speech? You want me to do the improv speech for the next one?
I can do the improv
All yours.
speech.
You got it.
Yeah. A lot of the time, indie games release and get lost between the huge amounts of games that release every single day. And sadly, that means that some games just go completely underrated. We have taken a look at some of the games that we have loved this year that have yet to cross 100 Steam reviews. So here are your nominees for the most underrated game. And the nominees for most underrated game are The Garden Path, The Collage Atlas, Times and Galaxy,
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the winner is The Garden Path.
Woo! I should have put the applause button in for that. Chat, I need applause emotes in the chat for that. Note for next year, sound effects. Put in noise. But yeah, you want to tell us a little more about Garden Path here? I know you put more time into that one than I did.
Like, people who listen to the podcast on a weekly basis will probably recognize that all three of these games are my picks. And while it was hard choosing between the three of them, The Garden Path has really just captured my imagination. It has been something that I was particularly looking for, as in it scratches that same itch that Animal Crossing New Horizons or Cozy Grove does, in that you can play it for like half an hour each day, and that's fine. And if you want to play longer, you can, but just within that half an hour, you can do like basically everything the game asks of you for that day, and everything else is bonus. And it's just a lovely thing to be like, to be able to go back to your garden every day, see how your garden has changed, meet the people that travel to your garden, some of them staying a bit longer, some of them moving on. It's such a delightful time. The artwork is beautiful, the music is beautiful. I cannot recommend The Garden Path enough.
It looks like such a pretty game. I'm like in love with the visuals of it. I know when we talked about these three nominees, Times and Galaxy was the one that was most on my radar. But we talked about like the love that we're seeing for Garden Path, and even like I think, and maybe this is not the place to mention at an award show where you're honoring it, but we talked about some of like the save issues that we had right at the start when it was like my save got corrupt or I had to restart or something to the effect. But even with that being such a, we'll say, game breaking thing, like the love I've seen in like the cozy game community for Garden Path it's up there with something like Fields of Mistria and Stardew. So I'm seeing the love for it, and I think it's well deserved and definitely shouldn't be underrated, team. So if you own it, be sure to go write a review on Steam. That's my New Year's resolution, is to write more Steam reviews. So you join me. Hell freaking yeah. And with that, we're on to our third award of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we all love our games, whether it be for the crunchy combat or the lovely music, which we'll talk about later. But we all know the entry point into any video game is its art style. Coming in with something beautiful, raunchy, gory, anything that catches the eye and keeps you thinking, man, I love looking at this game, is the stepping stone to getting into a game that you will truly love. So our next category will be best graphics, or maybe best visual style. I kind of like best visual style. I might go for that next year. But right now, it's best graphics. That's what's on the video. So here are our nominees for best graphics. And the nominees for best graphics are Neva, The Garden Path, Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus, And the winner, I lost the envelope. I thought here it is.
Oh, no.
And the winner is. I don't have a cool origami thing like Jeff Keighley did. Oh, look at that! It is Neva. Round of applause for Neva. I've talked about Neva earlier this year. I started that episode with "This is a Game of the Year contender." There might have been more fucks in that sentence when I talked about it. When I was like, "This is a motherfucking Game of the Year contender." I love Neva front to back, whether it's gameplay style, everything. I think what is so astonishing about Neva is seeing Gris, right? And how beautiful that game was in this watercolor painterly world of like, man, how could they make another game that's better? And they somehow do it. Both on like in technical, in increasing gameplay engagement, but most importantly, increasing like the visual style of the entire world. And just seeing some of the snippets in the small 3 to 4 second preview we had here, like doesn't even do it enough justice. And that's stunning as it is. Neva is beautiful. I think one of the hardest decisions here was being like, man, Bow Path of Teal Lotus is stunning in its original style with all the Japanese inspiration. And like, I was back and forth. I'm like, man, is it Bow? Do we go with Bow? But I think about how many times I took screenshots and saved clips of playing Neva and how beautiful that game was. And I definitely think it's probably the deserving one here.
Yeah. Each image that I see of Neva could be your wallpaper on your desktop. And I remember seeing the trailer for the first time. I was like, no one's going to top that this year.
Man, I would love to see at the Keighley Awards where we actually put, games with beautiful styles up for nominees to see what the grand scale people think. But I guess we'll just stick with whatever we got. It's fine. Whatever, Jeff. Whatever. But yes, congratulations, Neva. Once again, I do not have a trophy for you, but I do have this box cutter. So if you would like to come pick this up, email me. I'll give you my address. You can use this to open your physical release of Neva whenever we get that. So. And timestamp. But now on to our next award, Topher.
Yes. Now, games like I love games that have beautiful stories, that are beautiful to look at. But what makes a game truly a game is how addictive its gameplay loop is. There have been a ton of games this year that have been really hard to put down just because they were like, maybe I should have one more go, like just until I reach this point, and then all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. And yeah, these are the 3 games that did that the most this year. And the nominees for Best Gameplay Loop are Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island, Tactical Breach Wizards, Balatro, You're so surprised.
All the time. I never know what's gonna happen. I don't have the winners in front of me at all.
Oh no. Oh no. Now, this might not be the biggest surprise, but the winner is Balatro.
Woo! Balatro!
Oh, yeah. This is a game that's so addictive that they actually gave it an 18+ rating, even though it's not actual gambling.
Dog, I just saw it this morning. Oh my God, it's absurd.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, like, that story is gaining traction right now, even though that rating has been in effect for like a couple of months now.
No shit, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I saw this morning there was a post about it, some of the effect of like, oh, I guess if this gets it, we can totally ignore the microtransactions, ultimate teams of EA's FIFA or Football Club, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, valid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to put Balatro down once you get going. Yeah. I haven't touched it in months because I had to play some other things, and I was like, if I'm gonna pick up this game again, I'm just gonna lose all of my time to that. Yeah.
But then local thunks out here just like, guess what? Jimbo's got friends, and like they keep dropping 4. Like here's Dave the Diver and Witcher. Here's Cyberpunk and Slay the Spire. Oh yeah, Jimbo's got a lot of friends. Did you know Shovel Knight and oh god, who else is in that freaking bundle? There were like
1,000 times resist.
1,000 times resist. There were a bunch of games in that bundle. I'm like, I can't yet. I can't right now. I'm busy. Can't do it right now. But I want to play that Shovel Knight card. I want to play that Shovel Knight card in my deck. But man, Balatro, dude. Just gotta see a few in the chat. I'm constantly going back to Balatro. Medic says, dude, I got Balatro from the Apple Arcade and it's super fun going back all the time. They gave it an 18 plus because it has evil playing cards. Oh, eat my ass. Peggy, shout out. Peggy, man. But Balatro, super, super addicting. I think it's like, it's so weird to say like it's setting this precedent now, right? But like, I think every time we get a dope new roguelike that introduces like, hey, roguelikes don't have to just be get the power up, hack and slash, etc. If you find something, you can make a roguelike out of it. Seeing it, you know, followed up by things like Billionaire, seeing it now followed up by freaking Blocks for Babies, which is insane that exists, which is so cool. But like, if it exists, you can roguelike it. That should be a shirt. If it exists, you can roguelike it. We'll workshop that, but yeah, Balatro, congratulations. Best gameplay loop. Round of applause.
Hell yes. I mean, there wasn't really any doubt, was there?
Nah, I didn't think so.
Even though I really, really enjoyed the other 2 games.
Yes, 1,000%.
But Balatro, yeah.
It's got that.
It's iconic. Like
yeah.
I've seen people play this at the Eras concert, like the
yes.
And people in the crowd just on their phones playing Balatro. I'm like, hell yeah.
I see Medic was just like, pretty sure there's a similar rule on the internet with that saying. Nah, I came up with that. That was original. I can probably come up with 34 other reasons why you're wrong. But how about we move on to the next category, which one is it? Hold on, I changed the document. I see. Anyway, earlier I had mentioned visual style being the one thing to get you into the game. And though the gameplay might keep you there, what's something that's going to stick in your head and ring with you for the rest of your days is a good soundtrack. A game that goes above and beyond to play some type of music that makes you go, ooh, that hit different. Did you get that vibe? I got that vibe. So our next category is best music. Here are the 3 nominees for games that brought some charming, beautiful, and sometimes eerie tracks to your ear holes. And the nominees for best music are Caravan Sandwich, Never, Penny's Big Breakaway. And the winner for best music, I'm sorry, I have to open the envelope like this to you guys because my address is on the other side, so I just don't want you showing up at my house unless you want an award. The winner is, look at that, Caravan Sandwich. Woo! So this actually was, I don't know if is it bad etiquette to say what the winner was and that we changed it? Or like, I mean...
Just go for it. I mean, you basically said it already.
Yeah, but there's 2 options. They won't know which one it was. Anyway, somebody else won. And as I was putting these packages together, it was like, Topher, what if this won instead? And you're like, hell yeah. I've loved the game from all 3, the music from all 3 of these games this year. And though you are far more inclined with music than I am, I'll get like the bug and the song stuck in my head, but like I'm so bad at being like, that soundtrack was really good, unless you're like, hit me with a Shovel Knight or a Celeste or a Cuphead that I've played 40 million times. But playing something for the first time, I'll often forget the music, right? But the moment I pulled up the Caravan Sandwich soundtrack and the first track plays, I'm like, you know what? No. Yeah, this is putting me in a place. This is putting me in a vibe that I'm all for. So I was like, yeah, I think Caravan Sandwich might take this one. And you were all for it. The music's such a vibe for a conversation where we recently played Sable, right? And we weren't very high on it. We had like, it could be better, which led both of us to be like, Caravan Sandwich sounds really good right now, you know, as our substitute, not just in gameplay, but having a world filled with music that is so enjoyable and setting the tone. Caravan Sandwich was a great pick for music. So congratulations, Caravan Sandwich. You're the MVP. Yeah. Again, I don't have an award, but here is a semi-used chapstick you may have.
Now, and especially for the people who mentioned that they thought it was really cool that the devs invented a language for the music, it's French. It's just French. You know, it's an actual language spoken in France.
You said that to me the other day, and I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know people were like, ooh, they made up a brand new language. Because, like, I would have believed it. I was like, oh, the robots are probably speaking something else, right? And you're like, no, the music. They thought French was made up. I was like, oh, I had no idea. That's, like, really funny. Because, like, somebody tweeted that with their whole chest. Like, I can't believe this new language came out. Like, French, brother? And then he's just like, delete account, get rid of me. Don't look at me anymore. I don't want to be here. Oh, man. What a great one. I'm trying to think of how we organize this. Should I do the next one? Do you want to do a collaborative combination of this one? I don't know how you want to... Do you want to do it? Did you have a preference?
How about you do the intro and I announce the winner?
Fair enough. Now, award shows love to come in and tell us all about the amazing things going on in the industry. And though the industry's been a rough place these last couple of years with layoffs, studio closures, and the whole 9 yards, sometimes it's hard for devs to keep a livelihood in the games industry. So it is a great way to highlight some of these industry's finest, even on the smallest scale, as far as the social media managers. So in collaboration with the Caravan Sandwich Best Music Award, we also want to give MVP of the industry to the unnamed individual who runs a social media account for Plain Toe Studios behind the game Caravan Sandwich, for having to deal with all of the misogynistic toxicity on Twitter/X this year. We've seen it all, from the comments about making an actual polygon filled model of an LGBTQ flag so people couldn't mess with it, to people just being like, uh-oh, lesbian character, let's be angry about it. We appreciate you with your wit, your charm, and coming up with everything that we could possibly do. And I realized that I was supposed to let you announce the winner, and I just ran right through it. So
it's fine. It's fine. I guess that's what you mean with collaborative.
This is what happens when you don't plan the scripts. You just kind of go with it, right? So pretend I didn't
I'll
say
do the
it.
next one then.
Yeah, you know what? You could do the next one. But yes, we did not know your name. We tried to do a quick search. It didn't come up on the website, so we didn't say like a team page. So we just said shout out to the MVP of the industry. I do not have an award for you, but I do have a half-eaten bag of Hall's cough drops. So if you would like to have one of those, you can't have the whole bag because I need these, but you could have some. I'm running out of stuff on my desk for fake awards. I have to keep finding things.
Oh no.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks, Topher. I appreciate you on that one. But now you can do the next award.
Yes. So, people who listen to the podcast or just watch Danny live stream will know that we are not horror people. We don't like to be scared. However, there are some really good scary games out there. So we had to make a category for it. This is Best Horror. And the nominees for Best Horror Game, as chosen by two very much non-horror fans, are Grun, Mouthwashing, Content Warning, and the winner is Mouthwashing. Oh yeah.
Mouthwashing! Clean your mouth!
Yeah, there was like there have been really good horror games out there this year. Mouthwashing is one that we picked because it's not a horror game in the sense that it's gonna have jump scares. It's more about the general vibe of the game and the actual people being the real horror. And there was just no game that did that as well as Mouthwashing did.
Absolutely, 100%. I see Medic going, content warning was this year? Yes, it was in April, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And the games industry is weird because it can feel like a decade ago. You remember Turnip Boy Robs a Bank? That was in January. It was early, but it was this year.
It's been a year.
Yeah, it's a weird year. quick side, because totally all on board. I think mouthwashing deserve this. I'm sure somebody who's a little more horror informed could probably be like, well, we can debate it. Blah, 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 blah. But one thing I'm looking forward to the most with next year is being able to spend the year kind of categorizing all these games and seeing where they fall, and trying to do 5 nominees instead of 3. Because as I was putting this together, I was like, we did not include Still Wakes the Deep, which I'm like, damn it.
Ooh.
That was one that should have been nominated. I still would have voted for Mouthwashing, but I still think we should have included Still Wakes the Deep. But it was like too little too late. I'm like, damn it, that really sucks. But quick shout out to Still Wakes the Deep, still on Game Pass, so would recommend. But yes, Mouthwashing, a game that I just played in preparation for the Indie Game Awards, streamed it and had a blast with. Though I could see other games being scarier and hitting the horror vibe a little bit more, I think this one does a great job of balancing horror as well as like great narrative. So yeah, good game to Mouthwashing.
Yeah.
Forgot about Still Wakes the Deep?
Chat. I need chat to do something for me.
Chat, what are we doing?
Yeah. So, in order to get Danny on the Wholesome Games streams next year, you need to be like really enthusiastic when he announces this next category. Go, Danny, go!
Here we go. Okay, hold on. The timestamp. There you go. We're ready. Okay, we're good. Hey, everybody. CGDannyB here with the Wholesome Game announcement. He, him pronouns. I don't have the time to do the lower third in this scene. I wasn't prepared for this segue, but I'm going to work with it. Even though games are filled with violence, aggression, and amazing action, sometimes you just need to sit back with something cozy, something relaxing, and something that's going to make you feel good inside. From farming sims to simple maneuvering games about building little robots, here are the nominees for Best Cozy Game of 2024. And the nominees for Best Cozy Game are Mech Builder, Tavern Talk, Rusty's Retirement, and the winner of Best Cozy Game there is a giant face in the chat. I hate that. is Rusty's Retirement. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This one was tough, right? Because I think we talked about all the cozy games this year, and we had farming sims. We talked about early access and whether we include that or not, and so we kind of left out Fields of Mistria in that argument. But I think we picked 3 cozy games that are out of the typical realm of what you would say cozy is, especially with something like Mech Builder, which is so relaxing and fun. But we both have been infatuated with Rusty's Retirement in this, I wouldn't say genre defining, but definitely like genre shoving, to be like, hey, you know those games you can play on part of your screen while you do anything else? Here's Rusty's Retirement, this farming sim where you just have a little old robot who's retired, and he's like, you know what? I just want to plant some stuff. And you get little robot friends to help you do it. You can scale it so it's like in the middle of your screen, top of your screen, bottom of your screen. I need to get in the habit of using that more and just having it like around to just let it play while I'm working on any kind of script. But Rusty's Retirement is just such a charming game for me this year. And I think the cozy game that I enjoyed the most this year.
Absolutely. I think it started the whole, this game is only part of your screen genre. Or at least it made it more popular,
right?
Because we see more of these games popping up now in the still to be released in 2025.
Yeah, I can't think of the creature catching one that we were both like really Wilder or something. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember the name,
but it looks really cool and it's on my wish list. I know that.
Yeah, same.
Let me see.
Yeah, Rusty, it's so much fun. It can get distracting.
Yeah.
Like when you compare it to something like Spirit City,
okay.
I think Rusty's Retirement gets more distracting in that you can plant more stuff and then you can buy more plots of ground to grow even more stuff, and then all of a sudden Haiku is there.
Yeah.
And it's so charming, and I love that they're still updating it. Like it just got a winter update.
Yeah, it did.
It's the best.
Yeah, guys, go play Rusty's for our I think $5, something like that in the ballpark. It's inexpensive,
something like that.
Fairly inexpensive game. So
let me check.
If you're looking to get distracted by working on stuff, Rest of retirement. I see Urban Squat said the mech builder demo I liked because it itched my gunplay. Okay. My gunplay building needs. Remember to play more wholesome games, Danny, or you'll be forever haunted by the not so wholesome face man. I play a lot of wholesome cozy games all the time. You all see me. It was, I think, my most liked Blue Sky post when we reacted to the Toem 2 announcement. I was like, yeah, Toem! We were really excited. I think I had like 40 likes.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go play Toem, everybody.
Remember, kids, the CG in CGDannyB stands for wholesome.
That is exactly what it stands for. And Rusty, because I do not have an award for you, you can have this bread tie that I found on the floor while I was cleaning up water last night, because I spilt some water on my desk and had a major panic attack, but it was okay because the desk was built to last and there was no issues with the computer. So that bread tie goes to Rusty.
Nice.
Good deal. I thought I meant gamer, bro. Nah, you're crazy. You're wild. But over to Topher for our next award.
Yes. Remember how earlier I said that games can have great narratives and graphics and music, but they depend on their gameplay loop? Forget about that. The narrative is the most important thing about a game. If a game can capture the imagination of the player through its incredible storytelling, there's just nothing better than that. And these 3 games are prime examples of this feat. And the nominees for Best Narrative are Mouthwashing, Thousand Times Resist, Tactical Breach Wizards, and the winner is 1,000 Times Resist, which is gonna piss off the chat apparently.
Mouthwashing, hands down. Go ahead, no, that's your hill to die on. Go for it. You tell them.
This was a really hard decision.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've loved 1,000 Times Resist from the moment I played it, I really love Tactical Breach Wizards and Mouthwashing too, because all 3 of these games not only tell really brilliant stories, but use really interesting ways to do so. Tactical Breach Wizards uses its strategic warfare to tell a touching story about human emotions. Mouthwashing uses a horror vibe to make us think about what it means to lose everything and still try to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But 1,000 Times Resist mixes science fiction and the end of humanity with the story of immigrants who made the move to the United States and everything that they have to deal with. And I would give all 3 of these games the award if I could. But the stupid thing about awards is that you can only pick one winner, and that's what we had to do. And maybe I'm biased, but it's 1,000 Times Resist.
No, bouncing off, because this definitely would defer to you, because you had played all 3 of these. I had, when we voted, I had just finished Mouthwashing. I am still on chapter 4 of 1,000 Times Resist. But even alone with I think it was chapter 3 of 1,000 Times Resist in the home, I was so infatuated with that, and I was so drawn in by everything happening, and then Bang Bang Fire, is that her name? She's fine as hell. So I'm like, you know what? Actually, hold on, this might be the best narrative I've ever seen. But no, I am so impressed just off the rip of what I've seen with 1,000 Times Resist. I get a little taken out when I have to explore the hub area. I'm like, I just got to get to my next spot. But once I'm into the story again, I get to experience what's happening. And I know you have this expectation. Oh, Dan didn't like Kentucky Route Zero, so he might hate this story game. Just in case you don't like it. But I was like, I've enjoyed 1,000 Times Resist so far. I need to power through and get through the rest of it and see what else there is to offer. But yeah, when we're like, this is the pick, I had no arguments. I was like, yeah, I see it. And I can only see it getting better from here. So looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Although I have to say, like, I get the arguments for mouthwashing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's so good and it's so
Yeah.
well written. We had to make a difficult choice here.
Yeah. Which next year, maybe you guys will vote. We'll pick the nominees and you vote, so then it's your fault when the game doesn't win. So, but you know, then we gotta do forms and stuff. So I'll just figure it out. We'll see. We'll get there. Yeah,
We've got a year. We've got a whole year.
Yeah. We got a whole new year of games to play. Which
yeah, exactly.
I'm excited. We should do like viewer voted category, right? Like we have to come with something like the viewer game of the year, but they also vote. So like, we'll figure that out. We got a year anyway.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But ladies and gentlemen, non-binary friends, we're coming down to our last two categories of the evening, starting with the one-man studio game of the year. Indie AAA development. It all is a lot of work coming from making models, making sprites, developing music, level designs, the whole 9 yards. It's a lot of work most of the time for a huge team. But sometimes one individual says, I got this, cracks their knuckles and says, let's knock this out all on my own. So here are the nominees for the one-man studio game of the year. And the nominees for One Man Studio Game of the Year are Animal Well, Balatro, The Garden Path, and our winner for the One Man Studio of the Year. This envelope was empty the entire time, people. Is Animal Well. This was a back and forth, right? Because we're like, does Balatro just sweep? But I think we talked about seeing all the effort that Billy Basso put in, right? I got to meet Billy very briefly at PAX East this year. And I got to talk to his girlfriend more, just kind of about like the process of making everything and working on everything. I'm like, man, just like the effort that went into Animal Well for such a cool, eerie, atmospheric Metroidvania that I still need to go back and finish like entirely. I've loved my experience except for the one fucking cat, wolf, dog thing, whatever it is. People argue with me what animal it is. And how mad that made me, but I blame myself. I went there too early. I should have done better, but what are we gonna do? But yeah, Animal Well is fantastic. I love seeing the love that it gets from the community. And for a game made by one guy, well deserved.
Yeah, it does seem to be getting a lot of love. I haven't been able to get into it yet, sadly. But seeing it sit with over 16,000 reviews is lovely. Just lovely.
Get it, Billy. And Billy, as an award, I have this probably 85% used can of Febreze. 86% used can of Febreze. That is all yours. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying you stink. It's just the last thing on my desk other than a napkin. So I figured you'd like this more. So there you go, Billy. Congratulations. I'm not saying Billy's smelly. Billy smelled really nice at PAX. Not that I was sniffing him. I just.
Oh my god!
I wasn't sniffing him. I just didn't. Oh my god. Do you want my Xbox controller instead? I really like the Aqua Shift, but that might be better than the air freshener. Or you could have my used Ozempic pen. What do you want? I don't understand. Anyway. Timestamp. But now, as we go into our last award, Topher, I hand it over to you, friendo.
Yes. The last award for tonight is the best debut indie game. Every game developer has to start somewhere, and it can be a tough thing to do, especially in a market as saturated as the gaming world is right now. And to take that step and make that first game deserves some recognition. So here are our favorite debut indie games. And the nominees for debut game of the year are Balatro, A Thousand Times Resist, Caravan Sandwich, and the winner is Balatro!
Balatro! Woo! cards! Yeah! I'm not gonna throw these. These are my Shovel Knight cards. Yeah.
Ooh, Shovel Knight card.
Yeah, look, they're so pretty.
But
I'm
yeah,
distracted. Look at that, chat. You can barely see them. Don't even worry about it.
yeah, Balatro, like, as I said, making a game is hard. Making your first game is even harder. Making it as addictive as Balatro is quite the feat. And then having the excellent presentation overall to the game to add to its gameplay loop, like it's quite a stunning feat.
Yeah, we talked about the love for Balatro earlier. We don't gotta repeat the whole thing, but like everyone loves Balatro except for the people who haven't played Balatro. And every time I see this conversation about the Game Awards and it being nominated and people being like, "This got nominated," I just see the SpongeBob meme of like, people who don't like a Krabby Patty have never eaten one, and that's all I see when I see people trash talking Balatro, because they just don't get it. And either they refuse to, or they don't have the opportunity. But it's on your phone, it's on your computer, you can play Balatro. It's on your consoles, you should play Balatro, because it is so freaking fantastic. And I think people expect, because there's an industry filled with big AAA action adventure games. We already talked about the fiasco of like, Black Myth didn't win, Riot, what's this kiddie game Astrobot? But like, because it wasn't in the same tier of gameplay, everyone's like, Balatro doesn't need to be here. But again, just shows to people who haven't played and haven't seen the magic that is Balatro. And the day we get a Balatro 2, Topher, I'm scrapping every game in my library. I will sell my Steam account. I'll get a brand new account just called Balatro Fan 69, and I'll just play Balatro 2. Because I guarantee that's going to be too much for any other game to ever come out again. Balatro 2 will just take over the universe.
Yeah.
You know
what they call what they call the people who don't get what Balatro is about?
What they call them?
They're a bunch of jokers.
Yeah, they would say fucking losers, because that's.
I was trying to be topical.
No, you're right. Oh man, that's a damn, Topher being toxic. That's crazy. Anyway. But yes, with that, real quick, I guess we'll run through the awards again, because I gotta look at 2 separate tabs, because I really should have just organized this differently for myself, but that's okay. We have the games we didn't play, which 6 different games. You can see that. Best early access game went to Beastie Ball. Most underrated went to The Garden Path. Best graphics went to Neva. Best gameplay loop went to Balatro. Best music went to Caravan Sandwich. MVP of the Industry Award went to the social media manager of the Plain Toast Twitter account for Caravan Sandwich. Best horror game went to Mouthwashing. Best cozy game went to Rusty Retirement. Best narrative to 1,000 Time Resist. Best one-man studio went to Animal Well, and best debut indie game went to Balatro. And now, with those recaps out of the way, Topher, you had something you wish to timestamp. You had something you wish to include here.
Yes, because I wanted to nominate someone for best co-host of the Playlog podcast, and the winner is Danny. I am just, I just wanted to like thank you for like the past almost year.
It's crazy
that we've been doing this. Yeah, I know. But like I thought my days of creating content about indie games were done, and you reached out and we started working on this podcast, and it has been one of the highlights of the year for me, doing this each and every week, getting to talk to you about all of these freaking amazing games and just having a blast while doing so. And I'm just really looking forward to doing more of that in the new year.
Hell yeah, dude. And we'll tell this story till the day we die, whatever big podcast we guest star on and talk about where'd the podcast come from. I'll mention I had the sticky note that was like, Play Nice Kids. You gotta make sure I send a DM. And I just got away from me. That there was just like, Play Nice Kids tagged you in a video. It's like, hey guys, I'm done, but check out Danny. I'm like, oh no, it's too late. They're gone. I'll never be able to do this. I'll shoot the DM anyway. Hey, I know you quit, but like, podcast? Like, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. We got it.
Yeah, but it's just like, it really helps that you do most of the work.
Yeah.
Like you do all of the editing, you do all of the visual touches. I basically show up and be here, and even even then I struggle at times. Like I've struggled with my mental health this year, and sometimes I just fall silent while recording, and you're always there just picking up the beat whenever I miss it. And I'm just really grateful for that, because it would be a pretty boring podcast if people had to listen to my silence each and every time.
But like you even say, like you'll come in and be like, hey, we're having a bad mental health day, whatever. But like even on those days, like I still don't feel like you miss a beat. I don't think there's like these. I can't think of a moment where I'm like, man, Topher really fucked up that day. Like that was a terrible episode. Like those things don't happen, right? And I think it's just because one of the things we get out of this podcast is the opportunity to literally just be two friends talking about the indie games we play. And I've brought this up before, like where I don't have a lot of indie friends, more so now, you know, after going to PAX and meeting some of the great podcast friends that we have. But like hanging out with the friends, be like, I'm playing this new game, and like, okay, that sounds cute. But like, I can't have the conversations with them that I have with you, talking about the same game, like whether it's we're playing the same game or we both know the game exists, or you're introducing me to one, I'm just introducing you to one, whatever it is. Like those conversations hit every single week. And yeah, sometimes a conversation hidden a 2 to 3 hour podcast where it's just two guys rambling for a long time. Yeah, you know, sometimes, but we're looking at new moves for the new year that kind of makes some of those, we'll say sunken pieces of content come out a little bit more, and sharing those as like separate videos and seeing how it starts off the year. But yeah, we're going to see how that rolls in. But homie, I like couldn't do this podcast without you. So thank you so much for being a part of Playlog.
Aww.
Here's to 2025 when we burn it all down. But yes, guys, that is the Playlog Awards for this year. We still have some stuff we're going to talk about for the podcast. We still have what we've been playing this week. But just kind of to wrap up the topic of the show portion, this is our last show of the year, because the next 2 recording sessions we typically would have are on Christmas Eve and New Year's Day. So we'll just duck the holidays, so we won't have anything going on there. But you're probably wondering, but Danny, what about Game of the Year? What's going to go on there? What are we doing for Game of the Year? That will be our first episode of 2025. So on January 2nd, we'll have our Playlog Game of the Year episode where we build our top 10 list. I'll put an asterisk next to top 10 because math can be kind of funny, but you'll see when we see that episode. I also, someone's going to think like there was a deeper meaning to the kind of funny, because like our list is like our process is going to be very much based on how I see kind of funny do it. I didn't mean to say that, but it kind of worked out pretty well. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, so no episodes these next 2 weeks as we kind of do the, you know, celebrate the holidays, et cetera, spend time with our families. But yes, the first week of January 2nd, will be our Playlog Top 10 Indie Games of 2024 video. And then following that week will be our most anticipated for 2025. So a bunch of cool stuff to look forward to in the new year, new indie games to play, new indie games to talk about and gush about. So be sure to stick around for those, you beautiful people. Let me see. Timestamp. Now, Topher, let's kick back. The award show's done. We can relax. What you been playing, brother? What you been playing?
I have played a little bit of Slopecrashers.
Okay.
Which I received a key for.
Nice.
It's a really fun, what did they call it? A snowboard racing combat game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. When you see the footage for it, it really reminds you of like the GameCube, PlayStation 2 era kart racers, like Mario Kart, but also SSX, those snowboarding games.
Mm-hmm.
It's really arcadey, like you get weapons to like advance yourself or hinder your opponents. But what the thing is, what you see is what you get. It is basically just racing to the finish, trying to fight your opponents. It's a blast in multiplayer. I think in local multiplayer it should be so much fun. You have split screen, this split screen option. But the most amazing thing about this is that it's made by a solo developer.
No shit. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they have added so much content in this game.
That's nuts.
Unbelievable. There's so many game modes. There's so much so many accessories that you can earn for your characters because you're playing as these cute little animals. It's insane. Like
That's so cool.
yeah, it's insane, and it feels good. It kind of feels like the games from that GameCube, PlayStation 2 era, but updated with some more modern features.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a blast. If you like arcade racing, you're gonna love this.
I see Urban Squash in the chat like, I heard SSX. I'm already interested. Wish listed. Yeah, I included this one in the upcoming releases for December video, which I realized I have not even started the January script. Damn, busy time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was thinking about the game of the year one that I gotta plan the January one too. Well, you know, life's a highway. But yeah, no, the game looks super fun. It's one of those things, right, where I think I always get that pit in my chest when I see like indie multiplayer game, especially when they're online, because they are so dependent on an audience being there. I guess every situation is different, right? Like if someone has the ability to sustain their life without needing to get the entire income from the game and they can keep it running and everything, awesome. I love that. I know that's not the case for most indie devs. So I'm always just like, I hope this has the player base that it needs to stay alive. And like hearing all the different content they have, this just seems like one of those ones where like the right moment of like a Jacksepticeye or a Vanoss crew plays it and they're like, I gotta play this Slopecrashers with my friends. Like I want to see this game pop off because it looks super fun. And I love the cartoony antics of just having animals snowboarding down the hill. Like it looks great. I'm definitely, I want to get into it at some point here.
It is really cool. And like the different animals, you can be a capybara, you can be a lemur, you can be a penguin. And all of them are adorable. Just like don't look the penguin in the eyes because that penguin has seen things.
Oh no, the penguin.
Yeah,
poor guy. No, yeah, Slopecrashers looks sick. I definitely I get, how has matchmaking been so far, right? I know you said it's multi. Are you doing like the single player stuff or?
I've been playing the single player stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then I was pondering like how's matchmaking, if there's like any like 20-minute queue times to get a match or if it's like bots or.
I think the matchmaking is gonna be a bit disappointing. I just checked and I've seen that the game has 56 Steam reviews, which isn't all that much.
Right.
So unless all 50 of those people are in lobbies at the same time, maybe then the matchmaking will be good. But yeah, I think this one will probably be more for the local couch multiplayer.
I think so too. December 4th. Trying to see. I always hate pulling up the concurrent or like max player. That's the Steam database, whatever. But it is very positive though, so it's looking good. Yeah. So guys, if you have it wish listed, it's $17. So if you're looking for that local couch co-op game, even if you're not going to play it on PC, I still recommend making a Steam account and wishlisting the game because that helps the devs. More people see it, more people buy it. Then we get console port. So if you're trying to play this on your PlayStation or Xbox, we recommend. Story of Rap, thank you so much for the raid, homie. I appreciate you. What's popping? We're in the middle of doing our podcast here. We just finished the Playlog Awards. Now we're talking about what we've been playing. So, I bet. Sorry, you stole the reins there. Any other thoughts on Slopecrashers?
Just that it is coming soon to Nintendo Switch and Xbox as well. So
there it is. There you had it. Squatch, because you wish listed, we got Switch and Xbox ports. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. I see. That's all you gotta do. Wish list the Steam page, and you're good. Hell yeah. Let me see here, because I did the timestamp. I recently got a key for a game. It is called Lock. I love that demo. Yeah. Okay. I hadn't heard of it until Day of the Devs, where the devs actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're at the showcase today. Here's a key." And the day of, I was like, I hope to get to play a little bit tonight. I didn't get to. Luckily, I got to play a little bit in the last couple days. This is such a unique puzzle game. It is almost. I want to go like Sudoku to for anyone listening to audio to build the image of what this game looks like, but it's not really that. But imagine getting like a word search where you just have a mash of letters on the screen. And the first one you start with is lock, L-O-K. And when you lock something, spell the word lock, you get the ability to like delete one tile. The whole goal is to turn all the tiles from white to black. So when you spell lock, you get deleted tile. Boom, we did it again. Spell lock again, fill out the board. As you progress, you're spelling more and more words. Like there's tlack. Tlack lets you take out two adjacent tiles. There is, I'm trying to think the last one I got Lolo, but I got it too early, so I don't know what it does. I haven't gotten a tutorial. Like, you unlocked a word by doing one of the challenge missions. Can't tell you what it does, though, so I'm not progressed far enough to use Lolo, but I have it. And then Ta is the most recent one, which lets me delete all of one type of letter from the board or one type of shape. This was introduced as like a book, right? Like it's like a book game that you would typically grab your Sudoku book, fill it out, and do everything. I can't fathom how you would do this in a book in the way that like if I mess it up, I have to erase. I don't know if it is one of like maybe people who do puzzle books are just way more advanced than I am, but I'd be like fill it out. I'm like, ooh, it was wrong. Well, now I can't fix it. So now I guess if I fill in the whole thing, I didn't get it wrong. I finished the task, but as a video game, this feels so like so well defined for something that like I think the casual gamer would really enjoy, or like the casual puzzle gamer. I'm infatuated, and like now I'm like, ooh, do I play more tonight? Did I get back into Lock tonight? I might just some Lock after this. That'd be good. Got some dinner, play some Lock. Yeah, I had the move.
Lock, Marvel Rivals.
Oh man, I did my challenge for the day. You think I gotta get that again? I was waiting for season this winter event. You see this Jeff the Shark skin? He's in like a little jacket with his goggles. Yeah, that's my skin. Can't wait for that. Not an indie game. But real quick, I saw Rob. Hey Danny, we're doing thank you. We were on Marvel Rivals, but thought we'd jump on some. Absolutely, dog. I appreciate you. Hope you had some good matches in Marvel Rivals. Thank you for the raid. We just did our Playlog Awards, and now we're just going through some of the games we've been playing this week. But yeah, you said you played the demo for Lock. I don't know how diverse levels were there to start like early, I guess, in the experience you had with it.
I didn't play it for that long because I wanted to save the full experience for the full game.
Yeah.
Which I haven't gotten around to yet, but I really want to because the mechanics of this had me hooked from the very first puzzle.
Yeah.
I love the visual style as well. It has this black and white vibe with these gray tones, and like even the tiles look hand drawn, and I really think that's cool.
Yeah, they were like I said, they were in the Day of the Devs showcase this past week, and forgive me, I don't know names, but there was the individual who made the book, and there was a developer who was like, I'm making games, whatever, and he saw the book online, like, oh, this is cool. Reached out to the developer of the book and said, hey, I think we can make this a video game, and then work together to make it a video game. Like, that's so cool. I love that. Because again, just those smaller experience of like two separate creatives who weren't working together, just being like, hey, you want to do something together? Bet. And then made this exist. Right now it's got 62 reviews on Steam, very positive. It just came out on the 11th, which just about a week ago. So yeah, I need to leave my review for this one. I got to stick to my New Year's resolution here, but it's really fun. I think it's not mindless because it's obviously a puzzle game, but it's enough to, I got to think, but I'll sit back and I'll just look at it, right? Because you take almost turns with it where you spell the word, right? And then when you spell the word, your next turn is using the action of that word. So I spell lock, I get to delete one tile. So I got to figure out which one I want to delete. And then I'll delete a tile, and then I spell tlack, which like, oh, cool. Like I can, and it's talk, T-L-A-K, but like switch the L and the A. So tlack. In case you're like, what the fuck is this guy saying? These are all made up goofy words, by the way. Like, don't think I'm saying something like, or maybe it's in our language. I don't know. But yeah, tlack. I'm like, okay, I spelled that, but I'm like, this isn't working. Like what? So I can like hit the right click and rewind. Okay, so delete this square instead, then do I see, and then I do this, as that, and the other. Then it all kind of falls together. And even like the challenging ones, there's a hint button, so you can just hit the hint, and it will tell you which words you have to spell in which order, not necessarily which tiles you have to click. But I'm like, I can't figure this out. So I'm like, hint, and it'll be like, all right, you have to do lock, tlack, ta. I'm like, okay, so if I do lock and then delete this, now I can spell tlack, and then I could, got it, cool. So sometimes there's steps to it where I'm like, I'm getting stuck. I think the last one I was like 1 a.m. trying to figure this out. I'm like, let me pause this for now. I'll come back in a bit. But right now I can't figure out this puzzle. And I think it was early enough that like there weren't guides. Like there's nobody's like full playthrough of Lock on YouTube. So I'm like, how do I beat this level? But yeah, it's a fun one. I think, yeah, puzzle fans will like a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh boy. And with that timestamp, Topher, you played a little bit of something over here. What we got going on?
Well, I mentioned I'm not gonna go too deep into it this week because I mentioned it only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I'm still playing Fields of Mistria, which is just an absolute delight, even though it's still in early access.
Yeah.
The more I play, the more I figure like, did this deserve to be nominated for best early access game?
It probably
it's a tough one because I don't know which of the 3 games I would like switch out.
Right, exactly.
but then again, Fields of Mistria is really high quality. It's basically the natural evolution of what Stardew would be now.
Yeah.
If it were made now, it feels like it feels less rigid than Stardew Valley does. It feels more free flowing, and it's cool that it also has like magical elements to like set it apart even more from Stardew. But yeah, meeting the characters has been cool. There's this one edgelord that everyone seems to be fawning about.
March? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the writing is really fun. Gameplay it feels so good. I'm gonna be playing this for a long time. I've put hundreds of hours into Stardew, and I feel like I might do the same with this one.
It looks so freaking adorable. I love the art style. I remember this was like the one more thing I think at one of the Wholesome showcases, right? And I remember seeing the character here, the blonde girl, show up, and I was just like, oh, it's giving like Sailor Moon, which really wasn't my thing growing up. Like I wasn't really feeling this one. And then I saw we were still in that swing of like, oh boy, another Stardew, like another farm sim, right? Where there were just 10 announced every single day. So it really just like missed me, like passed me by. I wasn't really paying attention to it. And then the world was just like, yo, Fields of Mistria dropped this week, dog. Yo, I'm invested. I'm like, yeah, we were feeling it. And then giving it a second look, I'm like, wait, no, I see it. I have it. It's in my library. Like I bought it on sale in this autumn sale, I think. I still have it sitting there. I just need to do it. And that's like every game in my life right now. I just need to play some, but
yeah,
man, it looks so cute. And then Jupiter over here, God, Juniper, God, bunch of wall. Gosh, she could ruin my life, dude.
Yeah, Fields of Mistria. Go play it because it fully deserves all the hype.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks great. I say absolutely as if I know for a fact. But yeah, looks awesome. Now, real quick, we'll move on to the indies releasing this week. Not a lot. Not a lot before Christmas, team. It's really quiet. Actually, I pulled up the Indie Informer list. No lists. Nothing after the 18th. So I had to go into like the Steam, like what's releasing in the next couple days. And I found some. So
the thing is, the winter sale is starting tomorrow when we're recording this.
Okay, so yesterday.
So yesterday,
YouTube,
if you're
check it out. Oh God, more money to spend. God damn it. At least I got a $26 gift card to spend. Thank you, Topher. So from December 19th to December 25th, we have Leaf's Adventure coming out December 19th for PC. The Midnight Crimes coming December 20th for PC. Fountains December 20th for PC. And then Meat 2 Absolute Zero December 23rd for PC in early access. I was not familiar with Meat before seeing this sequel.
Never heard of it.
It's like like M.E.A.T. And now I'm looking at this. I can't even tell. Did this have a different genre? Did it change genres in the first and second game? So the second one's a first person shooter. The first one looks like it's an RPG, like a top down RPG. Interesting. Hold on. We're discovering new things, group. We're doing this together. So this is the first game. This is regular Meat. I don't know what Meat stands for yet.
Meat.
This is a regular Meat. But then we've got Meat 2 Absolute. Stop scrolling, Steam. Meat 2 Absolute Zero, which is this first person shooter, very Wizarddom-esque. And it looks pretty cool.
It does.
I dig it. I hate that this wasn't like on anything. Like I found this in like the Steam coming soon list. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I don't know. But yeah. I love the sequel to Meat, you know? This season's been more movies than games. Yeah, but that's typically just games as a whole. It usually gets quieter this time of year. December's typically pretty quiet. And then we kind of kick off in like January, February. Like I know already, I think I've seen like 20 games getting announced for February, indie, AAA, etc.
Oh.
And then we got Monster Hunter Wilds, baby. So let's fucking go.
That's not indie, Danny.
It's not indie. Don't play Monster Hunter. It's bad. Sorry, Capcom.
No.
Bankrupt.
Ew.
Be indie. I would recommend Dauntless, but apparently that's really bad now. And they did one of those things where like they had a really cool game and then like put all the like took stuff out and made it microtransactions. So if you had stuff before, now it's one of those things like, oh man, I enjoyed Dauntless enough, but I stopped playing it. Now I it's like overwhelmingly negative or whatever on Steam. I don't know if it's been fixed in the last couple weeks, but we try. Team. But yeah, that's this weekend. So look forward to January where we get, more new games to be excited about.
Oh yeah.
Timestamp there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Bobs and Grills, non-binary friends. I'm trying to get in the habit of saying that in a more nice, comfortable way. We typically, this is a spot we do our fan favorite indie game, but we had no write-ins for a new game this week. So we're going to use the opportunity to spotlight an underrated indie game. In this segment, we'll highlight an indie game that hasn't gotten the attention it deserves, or perhaps is an upcoming game that we think you should keep on your radar. And this game is called Starlight Volver. I actually got an email about this one earlier this week. The devs released their trailer at one of the showcases. There's a lot of them. But the video is already performing super well. It's like 392,000 views in the video. One of their big objectives is to have people watch this video. So here's what I'm going to do, chat. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to ask you to go watch that and like the video. Like see this? Ba-boop. Just like you should do for this episode. Hit that thumbs up. It's very important. But yeah, so be prepared. We might do some more coverage of this game in the future. But essentially, it is a anime girl styled roguelike. It's co-op. So imagine Hades meets Club Penguin, where you're adventuring through with your friends, doing all the super cool Stargirl energy stuff. And then when you're done with the mission, you go back to the hub world and you're exploring shops and everything. The devs that reached out were like, hey, here's the trailer. We'd love to hear your feedback on both the trailer and kind of what you would love to know more about the game. My first question was about the hub world. As someone who didn't grow up with like Club Penguin or Gaia Online or any of the games like that, like it's very, I guess, foreign to me and like what this hub world's going to be when we're putting it in a roguelike adventure. So I had asked them that. I haven't heard back yet. I assume they're still, sorting through all the stuff. But I'm hoping to see coverage soon on specifically how the hub works. But there's the girl with the blue hair who I'm like all about. I love her. She like her. I love her. I don't know anything about her, but hold on. Let's run this back, team, because there's a lot going on here with the anime stuff. So like, we got base her, but then you see her here in the middle, the third from the left, or I guess second from the right. But like, she looks cool. I love her. And then the pink girl got the big hair, and then you got the little person. I don't know if they're identity, but they got the little zippy zappy energy like Zenitsu or Luck from Black Clover. And then you got just the Power Ranger over here, which I didn't know where they were coming from. but like, they all look really cool. And like, coming off of things like Windblown, like co-op roguelikes are super fun. Things like Risk of Rain. We have Hyperlight Breakers coming out here in January. Like, multiplayer roguelikes are really dope because you get to experience the thrill of losing and dying and starting over with your friends. So I'm super, super looking forward to seeing this one once it's out here at some point in someday. Yeah. The game is called Starlight Volver, and that's RE:Volver. I did put the trailer link in the chat here. I think I did, right? Yeah. So you can find it there. And I think they have the Steam link in the description. Yep. First link there. Bada bing, bada bum. But yeah, just coming soon. Pando Labs. I don't know. Is this their first game? If I can load it.
No idea.
It would appear so. Yeah, 34 hours. Looking at it's their first game, but right now it's looking awesome. So show it some love, team. Oh boy. Any thoughts on Starlight? Does it look good? You gonna play Starlight? Does it look something you want to get into?
It looks cool. It's I haven't played any roguelikes in co-op yet. And this might be one to give that a try.
Okay. Topher, we got a new Karate Kid trailer. I don't know. I just that showed up in my recommended after I closed that trailer. I'm gonna minimize that for after the episode. I gotta see what that's about. Ralph Macchio's in that one.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Home stretch. Anyway, I think I timestamped. I'll do another one just in case. But viewers, thank you all for being here. That is a wrap on our last episode of 2024. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. As per usual, be sure to like the video, leave that 5-star review on audio platforms, etc., etc. Quick reminder of a couple things. Book club, go play Hollow Knight before the end of January so we can talk about it here. If you're watching this video live on Thursday, the day it comes out, we are reacting to the Indie Game Awards this evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably go live at like 6:30 or so to kind of get some pre-game talky talk stuff. I'm really excited to see what the show's about. I think our friend Jacob got to see the show already and sent like a little like, I can't believe this happened, but they redacted all like the proper nouns. So should be some cool stuff at the Indie Awards. We're going to find out.
Nice.
As we wrap up here, Topher, if the little scrubbly doubly bubblies wanted to find you on the internet, where would they go?
They can find me through my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word, and I can plug the website I write reviews for here as well. Yes, I can.
No,
it's so many games.co.uk.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. But yes, guys, and of course you can find me at CGDannyB on Blue Sky. I keep wanting to plug TikTok, but we lose that in like 15 days. So I think maybe closer to I think it's like January 15th. So we'll see what happens. But I guess follow me on TikTok if you want, but might not have it in a little bit. So sorry. But yeah, solo.to, it's in the link as well. You can find all the stuff in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wrap the recording. Maybe stick around just to catch chat here on the live stream part. But you guys are beautiful, lovely. Everyone have a great Christmas, happy holidays, a happy new year, the whole 9 yards. And we'll see you here January 2nd for our Game of the Year video conversation, discussion, etc. So look forward to that. Mwah.